Well, it is over. I'm shutting down this reef aquarium behind me. I've had this 5-foot water box aquarium for over 4 years, and for anybody who's familiar with my YouTube channel, I've been documenting pretty much every week everything that I've been doing with it. I've had numerous interesting events happen to it, some failures. I've lost coral, I've lost fish, I've introduced lots of cool things here. I've changed the aquascape probably 5 times, and it used to be an SPS tank, then it was a mixed reef, then it was a lagoon style. Now it's kind of back to a mixed reef, and I've just recently shown how to get to this level of an aquarium over the probably 3 or 4 videos where I've been posting every week all of my thoughts that went into this kind of final aquascape. Now, I am shutting it down, and yes, it is over for this tank, but I'm happy to announce that there's going to be another aquarium that's going to be going behind me. So I'm not out of the hobby. If anything, this new aquarium is going to be 5 times more epic than the one you see right now. It's going to be a water box system, but it's going to be a different water box system. And all I'm going to say right now is it's going to be bigger, maybe significantly bigger a system than what I have right now. And for anybody who wants to guess, please write in the comments below, what model of water box aquarium do you think is going to be going over here? I'll just give you a few hints. For anybody who's watched my YouTube videos, you know exactly what appeals to me in my aquariums. And I think this particular one is going to check off every single one of those boxes. And it's going to be large. So those are the clues I'm going to give you. And I'm curious about the guesses in the comments and who's going to guess the model. So get those typing instructions ready, but I think at least one of you is going to be right. And maybe I'll talk about who got it right in the next video. But let's talk about what's really happening. In my previous video, I have alluded to the fact that there's some big announcement coming, but unfortunately it took a little bit longer for this video to come out. I've run into a few issues of having the tank delivered, but the tank is here, and now the next step is going to be getting this tank down, then actually doing a little bit of work here, electrical and a few other things, and getting the new tank in its place. And then there's going to be more work, and then even more work. Like, this is going to be a big project. This is not your nano tank. This is not your regular 4-foot tank that I've was able to just get up and running in a matter of hours. This one required a lot of planning. I don't think I've ever done as much planning about aquariums, but I am optimistic, and I've already hit a few challenges, but just doing it one step at a time. So in today's video, I will start off by talking about the new aquarium and why I'm getting it, and then the second part of the video, I think I'm going to talk about this aquarium, the lessons I've learned over the 4 years, a few things I wish I would have done differently, and also this will be kind of a book of records for me to come back to. If you go back in my videos, for example, when I used to have other aquariums, I try to do something like this so that I can always look back and see, okay, this is what the tank looked at the end. And in this particular case, the tank looks, I would say, it's about at 70%, just because I think I've laid everything out, but it requires just some more maturity of the colonies. I've got too many colonies here that I've just moved recently. They're fairly small. I'm talking about the SPS corals, but like if I just leave this tank alone and don't do anything and just do some maintenance, this aquarium I think would have been stunning by the time late spring would roll around. So, but we don't have time, so this is all has to go away. So let's start with my plans for the new tank. Like what happened? Well, I've always wanted a larger tank. If you've seen some of my videos with Dane and a few other folks, I have definitely been fascinated by big aquariums. One of the reasons is you can be a lot more creative with fish selection. You can have pairs of fish. You can have much likely chances of fish spawning, which is something I really want to observe more. I think the aquascape obviously is a whole other ball of wax, and there's lots of more possibilities. But I think primarily having an ability to have more fish, more colorful fish. I think this is a big driver for me. Maybe even getting into the angel category territory. This is something that I'm strongly considering, and I'm sure some people will think otherwise, but I might take my chances with this. But knowing that I can is already it's a big thing in of itself. Also, some of this fish, like my beloved Naso tank, has clearly outgrown this 5-foot aquarium, and I will do something about this, but I want something that's really just next level, and I think that will be the next level when it comes to that. So fish selection and ability to have more than one species of a fish of the same kind. So for example, having 2 blue tanks or 3 maybe powder blues. I don't know. I haven't really played with that. And maybe my goal is at some point to have a clown tank or a Sohel tank. Like Sohel tank would be pretty awesome, let's admit. And I know all the downsides that may come with that. But anyways, that is the number 1. Number 2, corals and aquascaping. And I think I want something that gives me more room to creatively paint on the canvas of reefing. I want a little bit more variety, and I want a little bit more open space. So I think that it'll check off that particular box. There's a few more features of this new aquarium that are pretty unique that will allow me to get a little bit more flexible in some of the other aspects of keeping fish and coral. But that's all I'm going to say right now, because otherwise you will very easily guess what I'm getting. So I'm gonna keep a little bit of intrigue here. So that is primarily the reasons that I'm getting the tank. I want to try a really large tank at least once, and I think this is the time to do it. So I'm super excited about it, and I'm also excited for you, because I think that we will get on this journey together. I always document all of my trials and tribulations, and in this particular era or chapter, I think we will learn some of the things that we would not have experienced before. And I want to really get to the next level in coral keeping. I want to try out some new products. I want to try getting a little bit more advanced when it comes to coral selection, and trying a few things that you can really go to town with on a big aquarium. Now, I'm not going to talk about the other equipment selection. I will leave that for the next video. I want to have the new tank behind me, and then this is where I'm going to talk about the equipment that I'm picking and why I think there's going to be some cool stuff there, and a few things I might be doing differently, a few things I'm going to be keeping. So stay tuned, and if you haven't subscribed yet, this is the time to smash that subscribe button. Anyways, that is all I'm going to say about the new tank right now. And a lot more to come once the tank is in place. Let me just say that I'm extremely anxious about this process, because there's going to be lots of moving parts, and getting it in place and level and making sure that it's solid and nothing got banged up in shipping or whatever. Like, these are the things that I'm very concerned. So there is always a chance that I will wake up with some egg on my face, and it'll be like, oh my God, what did I do? So I don't know. This is a bit of the Schrodinger's cat situation right now. So the future me, the one that's going to be watching this video a week from now, will know a few things that I don't know right now. So that's interesting. So hello, future me, and what the future will bring 2 months from now or 3 months from now, that's a whole other ball of wax. Okay, enough about the new tank. Let's talk about this tank here. So I will be shutting it down, and I will move the corals. Luckily, I still remember I was shutting down my farm. I've actually turned off a lot of my aquariums, but luckily I did not dismantle them. So I will use them to temporarily hold all of this livestock. That also means that once the new tank is in, I will hit the ground running and get the corals in pretty much right away. I'm not gonna do the whole cycling thing and whatnot. I plan to reuse the sand behind me. Now, one thing I'm going to do is all the sand is gonna go into a separate bucket, and I will rinse the heck out of it. Because if you remember 7 years ago when I was moving tanks, I destroyed all of my corals, 80% of that. Really nice stuff, because when I was moving, I moved the tank and I just put in the existing sand into a new tank, and that was the biggest mistake that I've done so far in my hobby. Most likely not the biggest ever. I'm sure I'm going to do bigger mistakes, but that is what happened to me. So this time around, I really want to reuse the sand just because of the beneficial bacteria, in theory. But before I'll do this, I will put it in a separate place, and I will circulate, do water changes, and the whole 9 yards. Now, one thing I want to ask my audience is the sand selection. I'm using the Carib Sea seafloor grade sand. This is the 40-pound bags that I've always used them, and I've had great results. Now, some folks say that there's better sand out there, there's whiter sand. If I could do much whiter sand, I would love to do that, but I don't know if there's better sand options out there. So if you know of a good selection of sand or a brand, please write in the comments below, and I'd love to check it out. That is kind of what I'm planning to do with the tank. So just bring everything down, move it into other aquariums, empty it, and then I'm gonna try to get this out at the same time as I'm bringing the other tank in, and go from there. Now let's talk about, let's take a tour of the aquarium behind me, and let's figure out what have I learned over those 4+ years with this trusty water box aquarium. All right, goodbye my trusty water box. One of the reasons I picked this 5-foot aquarium was because it really checked off a lot of boxes. Oh, my Nero still does that once in a while. So, and that's actually one of the reasons I get a lot of streaks this way. This way you can see there's a little bit of water on the right side, but again, that's not going to be a problem going forward. I'll move things around, and I just haven't figured out the proper location for this Nero after I've done some major restructuring. But the reason I picked the 5-foot aquarium was because it's well, it's lighter and easier to manage than a 6-footer, for example. That's why I ended up with a 5-footer. But yet you can still keep large animals. You have tons of aquascape, and there's lots of front to back room. Like, this was probably my favorite aquarium I think I've ever kept. I really liked it. The only other one that comes close is my custom-made pragmatic reef, which was 6-footer. It was also beautiful, but this one brought me so many good memories. A lot. I've learned a lot. It was so well made, and back then, when I got it, like, this was, you know, top of the line tank. So I think very highly of it, and it was a fine water box journey. So, but this is the tank that I've done a lot of changes to, and a few things that I've learned is, first of all, aquascape matters a ton, and I think it's gonna fit your style, your preference. Some folks like to show off individual frags and, you know, show, oh, hey, this is, you know, a strawberry shortcake at a, you know, I got you know, for $300, and this is like a special goni that has some yellow in it and whatnot. So this is some folks have this collectoritis, and they will just kind of go with a bit more of a fruit stand approach. Although nowadays we're a lot more creative in terms of the aquascaping. There's nothing that's kind of going in the old fruit stand of just going against the back wall. So pretty much nobody kind of does that right now. But I'm trying to have as much negative space as possible, open up the aquascape as much as possible to have as much sand displayed and access to the sand, so you can keep it nice and clean. And at the same time, I'm trying to have all the corals kind of laid out, you know, things in the center being more light loving corals, obviously, and then off to the side things that don't want as much light. And this is kind of what I've been doing here. So you can see that the torches are kind of closer to the middle, and, you know, other hammers and euphyllias are a little bit off to the side. The SPS a little bit higher. I could probably, like, I wouldn't mind getting the aquascape a little bit taller, which is where I would have, if I would have waited another 6 months, I think a lot of those SPS corals would have come up higher. So this is what I'm doing, but this is kind of what I've ended up with, and I really like it. I think I'm not going to keep a reef tank without an anemone kind of island. That is still one of my absolute favorite aspects of reef keeping. So having the anemone and that little guy, hey buddy, he is pretty awesome. Like, I mean, it's just something special about this. And oh yeah, we're going to be moving you today, so he still, or she doesn't know. No, it's a she. Where's the he? He was here somewhere. I don't see the other clown for some reason. So, but I'm sure he's around somewhere. Maybe he is hiding. Oh, here, yeah, there he is. So you can see the other fella right in there. They always spawn, so they're very protective. Oh, look at that! He's speaking right there. Beautiful. So yes, doing this, I also think that it's important to have as much open aquascape as possible so fish can kind of swim around. Now, one thing I would not do going forward is feed all the fish in one location, because that's where all the fish start to kind of move into, or kind of stay in one spot. So I don't want that. I want as much balance as possible, and just in general, balance. I want everything to be as balanced when it comes to colors, flow, everything, so that it evokes very good feeling at the time. So I really like the way I've attached the coral. So watch my previous videos, I show you how I do it, but basically all the corals are attached on that little acrylic rods. So this way, when I can move things around, it's super useful, and you know, nothing is glued. So that is great. I also like the fact that I can take every rock out. I love those spanning arches and I guess all those rocks that touch each other, and you can have really exquisite displays. But the problem with that is sometimes you need to get the rock out. If you've got an anemone attached to that rock over here, or there's Aiptasia, or there's Nephthia, or some coral that you want to take out, there's no way to get the coral out, and I don't want that. I want to be able to access every single rock and yank it out. Sometimes it will come in handy. I also, I'm very happy with my fish selection. There is some Anthias. I love Anthias. I think I want a lot more Anthias in the future. Royal Grama. This is fish that I want to have in every single aquarium. It's one of my favorite, absolute favorite fish. And this guy is, or girl, is so old. I've had him for a very long time. Powder blue is another fish that I will always keep in my aquariums, and this is my absolute favorite fish of them all. So this is something I also want to have. Maybe in the future I will have a couple of powder blues, or powder blue and a powder brown. Let me know if that's a good idea or it's a horrible idea. Now, so anemones, we talked about that. Wrasses are very important. Hey, buddy. Yeah, the dories are just, the blue tangs are so different than anybody else. Like they have quite a character. So I definitely want to have that in every aquarium as well. And I want to keep some easy coral, some hard coral, to keep just a variety. And I really want things that bring me joy. Like that's really what I want. I want things that I like, and not necessarily, you know, the things that are high end or whatnot. Like for me, the regular clownfish. Oh, this thing did this again. Ooh. Look at this guy. He's just almost like stuck to the wall there. He's just protecting his spawn. So gorgeous. Anyways, I'm trying to have things that I like, and for my clownfish, for example, I really like the regular clownfish. I never really cared for those fancy ones, and sometimes I feel the same about my coral. Finally, you know, things I would probably do different. I don't know. I think I would clean the this overflow a lot more, because I find that there is some red coralline algae that kind of grows that's very hard to clean. So going forward, I think it just has to be part of my maintenance. I think I would probably open up the aquascape a little bit more as well, and have less coral. I'm happy with what I did, you know, underneath here. There's nothing that I would probably do differently. Oh, look at that. What's going on here? My kalkwasser has kind of precipitated here a little bit. Anyways, I'm going to be turning this all off shortly, so no biggie. But I do like the fact that my all of this stuff is separate, and yeah, you know what? I really like all of this. Maybe one thing I would do differently is having more like a dedicated controller somewhere in the vicinity, so I can actually monitor the parameters and access them a lot quicker. I've tried a few things. I still haven't settled on what it is. And yeah, this is this kind of wraps up my journey of treasure reef / treasure lagoon / back treasure reef tank. So thank you to this tank, thank you to Waterbox for building this tank, for making this tank. I did pay for it, so do not think otherwise. I also I do like the blades a lot, and Yeah, I think they are great. I've been running them for the past 6 months or so, and my corals look great. So I really think that this is my favorite tank. I think this was just so nicely balanced, and if I would not be upgrading to a much bigger tank, I could see myself having a lot of fun with this aquarium for another 5-10 years easy. So, but sometimes you have to dare to dream and leap forward. So that is it. Goodbye, my treasure reef. I will shed a tear for you. And what am I gonna call the new aquarium? I don't know. This is something I have to ponder on. All right.